Hello there, thanks so much for tuning in. So I'm Tim, off camera, except for my hands, and welcome to Digital Armour, a channel all about Magic the Gathering and old school CCGs and paraphernalia, for want of a better word. So we've got a bit of a treat today. So I've been scouring eBay and picked up a few of the old CCG magazines. There were 3 of them in total. There was the Duelist, and then there was Inquest, which was more of it had a bit more of a comedy touch to it, but Inquest was probably my favourite. And then there was Scry, which we will come to. So there will be flick throughs of those magazines coming to the channel shortly. So today we're going to be looking at the Duelist, and this is Volume 5, Issue 1 from January 1998. So it cost £3.50 here in the UK. Had number 21 up in the top, so not 100% sure what that represents. And this was the official trading card game magazine from Wizards of the Coast. So this was the official one that Mark Rosewater, I believe, started on. So something about standalone environments, a bit about the Weatherlight. We've got Mechwarrior CCG, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, the oversized Sheevan Dragon was not included with this eBay lot. And then we got something about Star Trek, Cult, Dragon Ball Z, and Final Fantasy. So we'll see what that is. We open up to a full-page spread of Starcraft. I believe that this is still being played to this day. Warcraft 2, so the game that just preceded this, was definitely my bag, along with Dune 2, the game that started the RTS. Cool, so it was around the time of 5th edition of Magic the Gathering, as this advert shows, and we've got a Sheevan Dragon and a Jester's Cap in the adverts there, and looks like there's a Nightmare way back there. Okay, so we've got an advert for Star Trek CCG. There's, unboxings of the channel of Star Trek CCG, either incoming or already done. If you see a card up in the top corner up here, then you'll know that there's already been an unboxing. So Mark Rosewater, editor-in-chief, so his opening statements are there. A little bit about people that are writing for it, and another advert. The adverts really sort of tell you what was going on at the time. So 98, I would have been maybe around 14 at this stage, and yeah, well into this kind of thing. So this might have even been one of the magazines that I actually owned at the time. I don't think I did, but you never know. Baldur's Gate, that was an absolute classic. Something here about lands. I don't understand really what. Legend of the Five Rings, that was a classic game as well. It's been turned into an LCG now by the people that do that. Names completely escaped me at the moment. They did X-Wing, etc. Anyway, but yeah, before that it was an actual CCG, which was really, really cool. So there's all kinds of writing and words going on in here. Let's get to some proper articles. Nothing going on there. There's a bit of a comic. There's some very old school graphics there for computer games. Duelist pick, Unstable Shapeshifter, and Phyrexian Dreadnought. Okay, so this must be just about the same time that's that the Weatherlight is coming out at. Is that? I don't want to make myself Magic Vorthos noob. Is that Volrath? I can't remember. Something like that. Corvath, someone or other. So it's got some cards that pair well together. Same again on here, Altar of Dementia with Living Death. Cool. So giving you some tactics, we've got the X-Files adverts there. Deck Clinic. Okay, so these are always quite interesting. Sorry, the camera is flickering. I'll have to try and figure out how to stop that. So we've got deck here from back in the day. Birds of Paradise, Lurgoyfs, Necrotogs, Necrotal. Yeah, interesting. And then over here we've got some other decks. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit all of that in. But yeah, Birds of Paradise again, Blood Pet. That's a blast from the past. So yeah, same kinds of things. So yeah, a few decks that are just going over variations of what they've done. This is where all the Magic rulings and errata came in. Okay, hopefully a lot of the flickering has stopped now. So we've got a subscription page, Magic tournament news. So Pro Tour Chicago, way back in the day. When events are coming up and the phone numbers of who you call to get tickets, presumably. So yeah, there's loads and loads of Pro Tour qualifiers and stuff. And then the actual Grand Prix and Pro Tour circuits there. That's pretty cool to see. So this is a little bit about the Wrath cycle, so the creature types, so Mogs, Lycids, Slivers. One of my all-time favourite cards, and that's the art for it, Death Pits of Wrath. And then there's an FAQ there, all about it. Some theme decks. So there's a Pirates one here, it looks like, with Merchant Ship and Cookemsa Pirates. Okay, and then Magic the Gathering t-shirt, so you can just get a big picture of a Magic card printed on a t-shirt. Why not? Old school deck protector boxes for the sleeves. We've got even more Magic. So this is, yeah, looking like it's a fairly Magic heavy magazine. Chron X Overture video game. So yeah, not a lot in here for the general CCGS, except for some of the adverts. June CCG. Now this was a game that I really wanted to get into, but just couldn't afford at the time. Magic was taking up all my money, and when I was 14, and didn't want to split my funds. So June Eye of the Storm CCG was really interesting. It looked like it had a lot of mechanics in terms of spice production and energy, sort of using that as your energy. Would love to find some on eBay, but it is very expensive. So we've got another whole article here about Magic, and even more about Magic and evolving it. So yeah, sort of how they go about building the game. This is pro players, it looks like, and what they're up to. We get a story, Duelist Fiction. It's a short story by Kidge Johnson. Okay, and then this was Mechwarrior. So Wizards of the Coast also made Mechwarrior CCG, and this was based on the sort of the Battletech Mechwarrior franchise. There was a video game, there was a massive sort of RPG section about this, and I just remember the data sheets for the RPG had like pictures of the giant mechs and then tiny little circles by the arms and the legs, etc., that you had to kind of fill in as and when you did damage. That was always cool. We got an actual card list in here, so that's handy. So it tells you the rarities, sort of what type of card it is. Love a bit of that. We got another advert here for Star Trek CCG. I don't think are these actual price guides. So yeah, these are from an actual store rather than just their guides for prices. But looking up, so let's have a look at Alpha Beta. What do we want to have a look at in here? Black Lotus for Alpha here was listed at $395 in 1998. So that's how things have gone. Other interesting cards here. Hypnotic Spectre, which I thought was the absolute dog's bollocks. $15 for the alpha version of that. Icy Manipulator. So Icy Manipulator that they just reprint common, uncommon now. Back in the day, $52 for an alpha edition Icy Manipulator in 98. Absolutely nuts, some of the prices of old school Magic cards and sort of how they've waned in power. So even more writing, all kinds of stuff, updates about the industry. So there was something there about the June CCG. Rage was another one, Star Trek, Middle-earth. So before Decipher made the Lord of the Rings CCG, there was the Middle-earth one, and the pack was just like a black box which had Sauron's eye in the middle of it. That was absolutely epic. Artwork. We've got Shadowrun. So that was FASA Corporation. They're the guys that did the Battletech stuff. Okay, so yeah, they do have a little bit of looking at the other bits. So this is a whole article on Star Trek CCG. Couple of pages on it, to be fair. So that's really good. We've got, what is this? Cult. Never heard of it. Looks kind of horror-y, so I'm not sure that would be particularly my bag. Dragon Ball Z as well. I quite like some anime, more of your sort of Studio Ghibli stuff or sort of films I enjoy rather than TV series. Did watch a lot of the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex TV series. But it's mostly films, Studio Ghibli stuff. I really liked, there was an old manga anime film called Welcome to the Space Show or something like that. That was a really cool one. Product information, Babylon 5, TCG. Never got on with Babylon 5 too much. And then we've got Final Fantasy 7. So they did a little video game review at the back. That's pretty cool. So flicking through, magic tricks. So, okay, so yeah, this was interesting. They put little puzzles. So how do you win in that situation? And it's quite interesting to see that they're putting the lands in front of your creatures, old school style. That's always good to see. I did that for the longest time. It took a lot of F&M sort of around Kaladesh season to get me out of the habit of putting my creatures and lands that way round. And then it gives you the answers, closing out, and then the back advert is just for Stronghold, finishing out the Wrath cycle. So that was a look at January 1998's Duelist Magazine. Fairly text heavy, but there was an awful lot of writing in there that I'm not sure, well, certainly younger me would have just been lapping up. I don't know if I'll actually go back and read through all of those articles. I'm definitely going to go back and have a look at the Star Trek and the Battletech articles. Don't know about the rest, but it's an interesting flick through. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've got any memories of these old CCG magazines from back in the day. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments. Don't forget to do all the other usual YouTube stuff, the liking, the subscribing, the bell notification. It's up to you whether you smash it or if you just tap it. And I'll catch you very soon for another video. Cheers!